So what's the price now of the... Like I want to, I fly 4K. There's no way I'm giving that up. So that's the other issue. I need my 4K. I've been spoiled. I know from last discussions, I think John was looking at 4K and they were very expensive. So, but anyway, we'll figure out. Hey, is that a tricolor Vassie? That yellow right by the runway? What do I see there? What is that? What is that yellow thing? Well, it ain't tricoloring for us. But it looks like one. That's pretty cool. If that's supposed to be a tricolor Vassie. Interesting. You don't see those very often. Hey, what's this? Looks like someone's trying to mate with me. It's like, hey, how you doing? What do we have here? Twitter. What's this? What's up and waiting for an update soon? You forgot the T. Alright, I'll look at that. Thanks, dude. I'll check that out. So, here's the link to what we're doing. Oh, it's big. Uh-oh. They're blowing a little air on my bottom. Are they having trouble starting? It's pretty cool. Look at the size of that prop. That prop is like bigger than my... Well, actually bigger than that airplane too. Are they successful? Keith, how's it going? Alright, so anyway, I did check out the aircraft. We're loaded with fuel. We're connected to the network. And we do have whatchamacallit, the route filed, as you can see in the upper right corner. I do have enough fuel. Oil's good. I even preheated the engine because it needed it. It's a little chilly, as in temperature. So let's go ahead and I don't think you know what, we need to double check, make sure that I don't think Great Falls is a covered airport in this area, but let's just have a quick look. This is where we're going. Great Falls to Hulett. ABCDEFGH. Now the original flight that I did on this took us like all the way up here down this river. We came down, came around. I mean, it was crazy, and all that just to find out that I never signed in, so didn't count. So we're doing a different one today. Should be nice and scenic in the mountains, hopefully, as long as the weather doesn't kick us in the area that we don't want to be kicked. But let's go ahead and double check. I always like go to PilotEdge this way because I do. Alright, so coverage. GTF is not there. Alright. So it's essentially a non-towered airport for what we're doing. And there we go. Let's go to the Great Falls sectional chart so we can zoom in more. Okay. Alright. Let's do that. Oops, it would help if I turned the battery on. Beacon. Oh wow, look at the shadow of the airplane, like just totally lit us up, and then I was like, why did it get so bright in here? Mr. Fairy Cake, how's it going? Do a little VFR action. Oh, did I give you guys? Yeah, I gave you the one. Alright. Alright. I'm gonna put in, let's see, what's our altitude? 3,500 right now, approximately. Let's dial in the local barometric pressure. It is 3027. 3027. And it's 118.7 is going to be the CTAF. And then the what we can do is pull up a tab and go here. And we'll do an airport search. KGTF, and we'll come here, and we'll go to airport info, and got Great Falls departure. Nothing here. Let's hope to get like the center frequency out here, 128.6. I don't know if I'll necessarily get anything on that, so we'll just utilize this. Nearest air traffic control center. And Great Falls, 119.75. Alright, and then we're gonna do, initially I guess I'll do, C37, let's go to 6,500 at least. Okay. Subsonic, how you doing? Alright, and then the wind's out here. We're 230 at 22. So that's pretty healthy wind there. So let's see, what do we have? Runway 21 seems to make sense. Okay, so we'll do 21. Just gotta find our way there now. I'm not sure where I am on the field. It's a cool little cliff. Okay. Hey, we're right by 2-1. That's easy enough. Alright. Look at that windsock. It's happy to see us. doing some flying in the MD-80 soon. You know, I was thinking about that actually. I'm gonna have to do. You know, I haven't done an MD-80 flight in a while, so would like to. It's a great airplane. Okay. What else did I? Okay, so let's just have a quick look at what we're gonna do, like in the immediate after takeoff. I'm gonna basically. Let's see. This is 5 miles approximately, right? Right about there. Should say something about 5. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll basically fly runway heading for the next few miles. When the road straightens out, this big river's going that way, but what I want to do is pick up this other small river. It's called the Smith River, apparently. So we'll see how that even looks in here. And we're going to try and follow that. It's a heading of about... Let's just move. Let's get rid of that one. Looks like a heading of 150. And we'll just see if we can come down there and end up in this valley over here. So I originally put in 6,500. These is 6,800. This will actually put us in the realm of the odds. So maybe I should put in 7,500 really. And then yeah, we're just gonna start following the Smith River all the way down this way. Now the reason why I didn't go out this way, follow the highway this way, is because I kind of came up this way when I came to Great Falls on my last Alphabet Challenge flight. So I want to switch it up a little bit. I'll put this like over on this side. Alright, we'll modify as needed. Actually, no, I did want to keep it on this side. So we'll do Smith River. Oops. But I probably will get confused with other rivers around here. Eventually we'll pick up this road, take us toward White Sulphur Springs. That sounds smelly. But anyway, alright, let's just do it. Yeah, it's a nice aircraft. Do you have it, the stock one, or do you have the one in the, on the Rotate Sims version? Okay, engine looks warmed up. I'm ready to go. Got my timer. Let me go ahead and reset it. Yeah, cool. You will enjoy it. Designed for a wedding cake. Oh, J-Snap, I got the best idea for a wedding cake. And Vu's gonna love it. Here's what you do. Take a 3D profile of the San Francisco Class Bravo airspace and flip it upside down. Because they always say in the textbooks, Class Bravo airspace is like an upside down wedding cake. So you flip it upside down and you color it with white with blue edges. Okay, white with blue edges. So it signifies, you can even put like the 70/15 and the, you know, whatever. I don't know what the top altitude is on the. I'll put like all the little shelf areas in there. You could just draw it out, like signified on there, right? I think that would be awesome. Why not? Go for it, man. It's freebie. I will not charge you for that idea. The first woman that agrees to marry me with okaying that idea for our wedding cake, I'll marry her. Just on that alone. What do you think? Is that good criteria? Ooh, it's windy. Alright, hold on. Let me just lower this a bit. I should have said that we were taking runway. What is this? 21? Great Falls traffic. Reno at Bonanza 576 Tango Bravo. Departing VFR runway 21. Ground clamping. I wonder if that's a live person. Alright, anyway, I'm live. I just said all that live on frequency. I guess that's why you're supposed to... Oh wait, we have to let that guy go. Get off the runway first. Is anybody behind us? Not at the moment. Yeah, it was my fault. Right? Perfect criteria. Looks like that guy's just turning around now. I hope he's getting off the runway. Yeah, looks like he's getting off the runway. Alright. Great Falls traffic, green open as 576. Tango Bravo, once again, departing VFR, runway 21. Left crosswind. Great Falls. The boomerang option. Oh, wait. Again. See, I'm not running checklists. Stupid. Let's at least get some trim set. Alright. Hopefully that was our only screw up of the day. Unlikely. 70 knots. You're gonna hear some barking in the background. My mom's friend is stopping by. Looks like a swollen banana. It's a swollen bonanza. Actually, I shouldn't have said crosswind. Straight out. Okay, we're through 500. We said 7,500, right? Okay, so we got the highway going out that way. So I'll sort of follow it initially. And then here's the river out in front of us, but then there should be like a little river branching off of it as the road. So you see how the road out there goes straight, but then it turns to the left. Right, turns to the left. And as it does that, as the road turns to the left, let's see, somewhere around that, before that, this river kind of, right off of here, branches off. And there's also a road going south. So we'll see if we can pick up some kind of detail like that. I think it's like coming off of either this bend, or it might have even, I don't think it would be this one necessarily, but we'll see. I should put in my topic, do not tell me where I am. Okay, wait, here's the river. Okay, so here's that river coming off. Hey, there's like a little grass strip depiction there. Is that even on here? No. But here's the river. We're gonna follow that one. So we're following that river down that way. There we go. Alright. So let's turn 150. Well, initially I'll go 170. Gotta come over this way. That looks cool, doesn't it? Little meandering action. Sometimes these airports might be displaced. I saw an airport displaced. It was like 8 miles off where it was supposed to be. It was like in the southeast somewhere when I was building up some ortho out there, trying to like triangulate what feature I was looking at. There, we're coming up on 7,500. Yeah, I swear to God, I was totally. I was staring at this thing for like 15 minutes, wondering, well, where is this? I got the airport. It's the right pattern, is what's showing on the chart, but there was a distinctive road pattern by the airport, and I'm like, how? The ortho is really never wrong, you know, and not wrong by 8 miles. It's usually X-Plane's database. So I'm looking, and I'm kind of just scanning around. I'm in the local map view where you can see the satellite ortho, and I'm switching back and forth to Google Earth. And then all of a sudden I found the same exact airport runway pattern in the ortho. But then I went to like where the airport was located, and it was about 8 miles off. It was crazy. Yeah, I'm now detecting the sarcasm. Alright, so we got the timer running. We switched our fuel tank. Alright, I put it to the left one. There it is, left side. Oh, I never turned on my landing light. See? I feel like it's, for me, literally impossible for me to ever have like a flight go perfect as far as procedure wise. I don't know why that is. I guess that maybe is normal, but not to the extent I screw up. But I don't know. Now you have me looking. Oh, you got it, JSAP. Do it now. You got to do it now before you get fully married, because there'll never be a good time to buy one or anything. It's just so good to fly this way, and you do a fair amount of VFR. Not to mention VFR and you know, all your ortho stuff. It's just awesome. But if I could recommend, if it's in the price range, like the one I fly on was $550. Compared to a computer monitor, I mean, it's just so affordable. But if you can do like a 43, I wish I did the 43. If I ever upgrade, it would probably be like between the 43 and 47 inch range. And the reason why I say that is because you get really close. Somewhere between the 43 to 50 inch range, you're almost a 1-to-1 ratio on your flight instruments, which is just really kind of neat, you know. But 40 would be fine, man. 40 is awesome. Hey, Leaf and Ninja, how you doing? I mean, that of course is also like how you know, like right now, that's almost on my screen a 1-to-1 with the zoomed in effect. If I were to take a ruler, that might be about, this instrument might be about 2.5 inches The real attitude indicator in Bonanza is probably in that 2.5 to 3.5 inch range, I guess. So, just following this river, going up that way. Let's just double check. So the river's coming down this way. Should be doing about a 150 heading the whole way down with this river, varying to maybe 140. Yeah, I'm doing 160 at the moment. See, that river goes actually out that way. That's about 130. And then we have that, which is going on a heading of 1. That's actually like 200. I don't think we had any points at which the river should be going 200. So that's probably, I'm probably seeing this one. I'm not going to follow that. I'm going to keep going out, I think, that way. I don't know. See, this is like where it gets really kind of, which way do I go? But that looks about right. Let's go that way. Can always turn around, as I've done many times. Just finished work. Nice. That's cool. Ninja, what are you using? Maybe I'm seeing this part right here. You know, about 130, and then we'll go back down. Should be like a road coming that way as well. There's the river. I'm not seeing a road just yet. You see a road going out that way? There is a road there. Ooh. That road keeps going that way. It's got me thinking now. It's got me second guessing. But we'll just follow this for a little bit, see if it goes that way. Back to about 160. Oh, cool. Yeah. Nice, yeah. Hey, Black Cat. How you doing, buddy? Just enjoying a nice little VFR flight. Western US Alphabet Challenge flight. That's going to go that way, and that's going to be about a heading of 160. And this is like 160 down here, and then so like that was like the 120 portion maybe. I think we're on this leg right here. 5,000 foot ridge over here, heading toward a 6,000 foot, so that might be about 6. And that might be in the 5. We're at 7,500, so if you guys aren't getting too nauseous, a little turbulent. Okay, so let's go to that heading of about 175 for now. Just keep everything out to our left side. All right. Cool. So there is a road along with this river, and we're going about 175 right now. Let me just go a little bit off to the right. Yeah, it might be one of those auto follows, apparently, when they sign up for an account. Yeah, so here's 174. We should be seeing, basically, we've been seeing this meandering river coming down with these varying elevations. It's kind of matching up what we're seeing. Right? All this stuff coming in. A whole bunch of zigzaggy river action going on here. Looks like US West Real Life tried to draw in a little building appropriately on that one house. It's kind of interesting how they... Yeah, they put one right there. Some more. .43". Response time 5 milliseconds. Is that like the input lag? So that input lag seems to be one of the things that, or if that's something different, I'm not sure if that's the same thing as input lag. But input lag seems to be something that some reviewers look at for video game use. This particular mid-range Samsung TV that I'm using, that Ninja Guitar is using, and the latest version even had like a, even though it was not as expensive as their more expensive 4K TVs, it was good for gaming for that reason. Let's see, I kind of like the ability of the monitors to do 4 HD displays on one screen. Yeah. So what would you need? Obviously, then, like 4 HDMI ports. Okay, so now we're going about 160, which we turned a little bit to the left. But I guess eventually it's going to go even further to the left. Actually, we should see a pretty high rise in terrain over there. I feel like I'm not necessarily seeing that. See, that goes in a direction of 240. And I do see like a road and everything like that up there. And they've got the river going that way. And that, to go on that does require a 120 course. So let's go ahead and just stick with that for now. Is the new Atlanta update up on the org? I don't know. Ah, thanks, Greg. Sorry, guys. At least, hopefully that only happened for about a minute or so ago. Alright. Hopefully we're back up in action. Alright, good. Thank you, thank you. Thankfully OBS didn't crash. Okay, so we're heading on this heading of about 130, 120, and then it's going to hook to the right. This rise in terrain is about 20 miles away, so sometimes it doesn't show up in the haze. So I'm not too terribly alarmed, but 20 miles I got that way. You can see how, even though it's not like a really sharply defined river, you can see how it's very saturated in green due to the water. And we're going to eventually turn back down to 170. Cool. Yeah, hopefully it wasn't too long like that. Alright, so we're going to turn to 170 now. Follow that way. Maybe a 180 initially. Totally see it just sort of slicing through here. Conditions smoothed out a little bit. Mr. Me6. Basically, it depends on the model. In X-Plane 11, you end up, it's sometimes very animated, and you see like an explosion. This particular airplane, you wouldn't see any explosion. It's an older model, so it hasn't been updated. So, you crash. Game starts over, basically. Sim starts over. Flight's over. So, it's not very exciting. There's a lot of other games out there that do it much better than X-Plane. We have an offensive tile here. Alright, so we're cruising along, following the river still. I think we're going down this way. Maybe another turn down this way. 130. Then this will be a nice update. If we can spot this, we know we're on the right track. But it looks like we're going to be turning once again down that way, so that is a good sign. The 180 leg was relatively short-lived. Although, hold on, let me just double check, right? Yeah, it's only 7 miles and another turn. We could go straight and follow river into high terrain. And it does look like that river does go into the higher terrain. But we're going to go that way. And then hopefully spot some sort of a reservoir, dam, river up that way. So we said 130. Let's go ahead and start turning that way now. Alright, so we're doing about 130. I do see this river. There's also a road with it. We could double check to see if there's a road. Yeah, so there's a road. Maybe we'll even see the ranch. And maybe we'll see White Sulphur Springs Airport. I don't know if we passed the ranch yet or not. Ranch might be right under our nose. Although there is a big irrigation farm circle here, so there might be a ranch right behind us. Probably missed it. Oh, here's another one. Now I wonder what they grow here, right? This is obviously tended to. Maybe that's the ranch right there. I don't know. Neat. Okay, so let's see how far after the ranch will we see this river. It'll be like between a 6,000 foot point and another 6,000 foot point. And let's go ahead. So maybe up in here, we'll keep an eye out. But let's go ahead and switch our fuel tanks. Alright, there it is, right there. It's water. I think that's it. Maybe. Gotta keep following that river. That might just be... Oh, yeah, that looks like a water area, right? It has a greenish look like the land, but yeah, that looks more like water. Nice. Let's see, I'm at 7,500. And these areas, it's like, that's 6,000... 5,000 foot elevation at the airport. And it's going to step up in elevation. Maybe I should start climbing up. This will just give us a nicer look over the area. In general. Yeah, so there's the water. Alright, cool. So I am feeling relatively confident that we are on the right track. I hope you guys share that feeling. Some more water out there. I don't think that's it though. It might be this. Because we're already past that, right? Okay, now that road, and there's a city there. Whoa. So that must be the town of White Sulphur Springs, maybe? So that would mean that the airport would have to be like somewhere there. Maybe that straight line is it right there. We're kind of low. That's the challenge. Let's see. Our heading is still... yeah, 145. Let's start climbing just a little bit. Let's go to 9,500. That would be appropriate for this direction of flight. As we climb, you should see if that's a runway or not. I think it is. You can see how there's a little loop, like you taxi and turn around. That little black triangle didn't make the sectional chart though. So yeah, it looks like a runway to me. And then to confirm, unfortunately, you can see even a misplaced X-plane runway right there. Sometimes that's the dead giveaway. So. And let's see, we've got a climb power setting going on. So the idea is, as we continue past that, we're going to turn. Well, we're going to keep about a 145 heading. The road's going to come south and then turn roughly in the same direction. Go up on Ringling. We're going to basically follow that road. So we should see the road that has come out of the airport, and that's it right there. So we're going to kind of chill along the side of this road, follow it that way. And that's going to go to a heading of about 120 initially. Let's just make sure that's the one we want. It's coming down that way. Yeah, it's going to turn like it's probably like if we did this, right? Get that there. And there. So 120 basically, right? And then that. So we're going to follow Route 89 for a while. Cool. What's the IKO for that misplaced airport, Ninja Guitar? Yeah, sure. That is 7 Sierra 6, White Sulphur Springs. And that is Elk Peak. Yeah, you can see them right there and right there. Elk Peak. And Black Cat. Fine pilotage. Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah. Pilotage is definitely a lot of fun. Thankfully, this ortho lets us do it. You know who's been streaming a little more lately? Yesterday he was doing an actual stream related more to music, but his name is Music Man for sure. Nice guy. And he likes to just do some flying and having some drinks and streaming. He used to use a webcam, but he hasn't the past couple times. He's been streaming a little bit on and off. He did a flight out of Burbank recently. So I think most of the people that are on lately probably don't recognize his name necessarily because it was quite a while since he had streamed. But he was doing some PilotEdge Alphabet Challenge VFR with X-plane stock scenery. And I was watching that, and I was like, man, that is just hard to do. Because, I mean, you're basically just going off generic scenery and the location of the airports and the roads. So it was like just these stock, X-plane textured roads. But the problem is that, like, in the ortho, you can even see not just the road, but more the actual sort of land features that are modified by the road also make it much more apparent in the photo texture. So you didn't have that with generic textures. Like you can see how this piece of land here looks like it had been maybe modified by somebody, but you can see how it sort of ends at the road, whereas in stock scenery would just go right over the road. So you would never know that's something. Or like a road will follow a depicted river, right? Wouldn't have that in stock scenery. So I just remember watching him. I like the look on his face because he's talking to ATC. He's trying not to bust in airspace, and it was pretty impressive. It was fun to watch. But anyway, now that we have this, it's just so good. So for those that haven't tried this flying yet, it's totally doable. And I started doing it just in the ZLA area on the bigger main highways. So always picking highways that basically were like, even these are kind of hard to see. Like that's what we're looking at right now, just these single ones. But when you see these type of highways, these are the best ones to start with. Highways, railroad tracks. So start like that in the ZLA area and kind of experiment with it. Get used to how you're able to see certain things that are on the sectional chart and versus how they look in ortho. And if you have something at 20, I started out doing a lot of the flights was on a 27-inch monitor, so I think I had my field of view set to like 67 degrees or something, you know, so that way the outside world was, you know, you're sort of focused in a little bit more, you know, it didn't go as wide, so everything appeared a little bit larger. Now I'm at 75 degrees because I have a 43-inch screen, but Bullet, I have Mr. Fairy Cake. His name is Music Man for sure, with the letter 4, the letter 4, the number 4, Music Man, the number 4, and then sure, all one word. If you go down to who I follow, it shows I'm following 106 people. That's probably the best way to find them. Just kind of scroll through and I think his profile picture has like a picture of his face. Kind of looks like his eyes are closed. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Music Man. And I think it's a C. I can't remember if it was like a K instead of a C. But if you oh, got some nice mountains out there. And then let's see, Bullet. So I have right now. I mean, I have almost the entire United States done. So it's currently at about 7 or 8 terabytes spread across 2 drives. Alright, so we're still following this road. We're now on a heading of 120 again. The road's going to head out that way. It's going to pull us back to about 15160. So we're kind of just doing this. We did this turn down. And then we're going to go 140 again for a while. Yeah, but you don't have to start off that way. And plus I'm doing, you know, the entire US with 17 zoom levels. You can do the entire US in about 6.5 terabytes if you just stick with zoom level 17 straight across. Now, you can also, if you do airliner flying and you're going to be flying off over a lot of this land at high altitudes, then you can do the majority at 16. And then you can set up the airports that you like to fly into and out of a lot at zoom level 17. You can set it up so it does a certain higher degree of photography at a higher resolution. Alright, so we're doing about 180 again. And that's basically like up here, I think. We're doing this leg, 170. Potter Creek and the road. Route 89. There should be like a little body of water on the next turn of 140. So there is a turn coming up over there. Okay, so it looks like it's going to be about 140. And then at one point we should start to spot a body of water along this road. Oh, that looks nice out there. Got some mountains. Let's update our altimeter setting if we can. Let's see. Next one is coming up on Mission. And let me get rid of this. We don't need this. It's going to be altimeter 3036. Oh, you know what? I never picked up flight following. Okay, we'll go ahead and pick it up now. We'll put this at 3036.
Air 2 Bravo Charlie, clear direct Mickey.
Alright, so once again, we're going to turn about 140. I see what looks like a popular. Okay, yeah, this is actually water right here. Now we may not. It might not be. There might not be a water overlay over it. If there was, normally at this angle, we would see a little reflection on it. So sometimes X-Plane doesn't put a water overlay. You might not have made the database somehow when the tile was made. So now we're just going to see the ortho itself, the color of the water, at the time the picture was taken. Trixmont, how's it going? Good afternoon to you as well. So after the body of water, there's a depicted town. So here's the body of water, and here's the town of Will Sal. So we're coming up on Will Sal. Okay, town of Will Sal. Now we'll just keep going straight down that road, and in the meantime we can enjoy some surrounding scenery as well. Once again, some sort of a turf. Does X-Plane does make a runway that is like a dirt turf rather than a. Because you can see in the ortho, it looks more like a dirt runway than a bright green grass runway. Although it might just be dried grass. I don't know. Nice. Once again, just these cool patterns of hills taking place. No, not a bother at all. Let's check it out. So Will Sal is Niner Uniform 1. It's looking cool. We got some nice big mountains coming up. Well, at least they look big in the haze out there. And we got this town here. This was Clyde Park, I assume. And then those big mountains out in the distance we're seeing are these. Not heading east at Livingston. Not at this time, no. I don't think we are. Got a pretty obvious... See, this is what I'm talking about when there is an overlay for the water drawn in. And you'll see this in real life, too, where a puddle or any body of water will reflect the sky pretty well when viewed on an angle. But then when you get right over it, like these here, it'll be more the, you know, color of whatever the water is looking straight down at it, less of a reflection. Okay, I gotta switch the fuel tank. That looks cool. Alright, let's check out our fuel tank. Whoops, why am I hitting the wrong buttons here? Got pretty turbulent, huh? Okay. And we're coming up on a left-right situation. So Livingston, yeah, it would, let's see who asked that question before. Bullet. Yeah, it would make sense to shortcut, right? Of course, the most direct way would be to make the left, head east. But we're taking the scenic route. So we're going to cross over Livingston. And we're going to be on this main highway briefly. But then we're going to continue on a heading of about 200 right after out of the main city here. Down this route. I don't know if it's, yeah, it's still Route 89.
KUSA 326, Albuquerque clearance delivery on request, am I?
Sounds like our controller might have a little sniffle. Or an allergy. Those fall allergies, you know, they can be pretty brutal. Ah, look at this airport over here. It's a whole bunch of grass strips. So, Mission Airport. They're showing that it does have a hard surface runway. But, which looks like it's right there. And then they're depicting some grass strips. Curious if that's accurate or not. We could look it up in the airport facility directory page. So we're going to make this right. Let's go to a heading of 240 for now. Yeah. Oh, wow. Some I would have never experienced in the Northeast, probably. Although back in 1994 or 95, we had some crazy fires burning out eastern Long Island. The Pine Barrens. It was like a really dry summer, We had a drought going on, and the whole thing like ended up lighting up. It was big enough that it crossed the Sunrise Highway. Pretty wild. Alright, so here's Livingston, and the highway continues through the mountains on a heading of, I guess, 24250 if you base it off this VOR direction compass rose. But we're gonna go
1711 contact Salt Lake City Center 128.72.
That away. So yeah, if we turn 190, so the main highway, it looks like it's, let's see, what do we say we're gonna do? We're gonna do about 200. So 200 is here, so it looks like it's following that. Let's just go turn 200. I think the main highway is kind of curving around that way.
USA 386, advisory to copy.
Josh the techie. I guess I would.
USA 326, clear to the El Paso Airport, Albuquerque 3 departure, radar vectors Socorro, then as filed. Maintain 9,000.
I have single engine time
frequency
and glider time in real life, but I don't have any certificates.
57.
So I have some real life experience, but not to the extent that some of the other guys that see online streaming do. But I make an effort to gain book knowledge and learn from people that fly in real life, and you know, I do my research. That looks nice, huh? See, there's the main highway. Well, excuse me. Yeah, one thing you'll find in aviation is that you can become as knowledgeable. It never ends. In other words, no matter how much you know, there's something that you're not going to know in aviation. It's so cool. You know, it keeps it interesting. And, Trip Taker, how's it going? Hope the turbulence does not get crazy in the mountains. I know, right? X-Plane does simulate to some extent mechanical turbulence, that being airflow coming up over mountain peaks and creating, you know, disturbances. Nice, Trip Taker, that's good to hear. Well, I hope you guys are enjoying the view out here. I sure am. Cool, so we just made this turn. We're going basically heading on down this road. We're seeing these mountains off to the left. So these big, beautiful, jagged peaks out over here that are approaching 10,000 feet, right? We're at 9,500, so these are above us. Oh, you mean as far as like how to pick out like routes and put them, you know, for on the charts and stuff? Cool. If that's what you're talking about, I'm glad it was helpful. Yeah, I do plan to do some more of that stuff. Man, I love this river and these mountains. This is awesome. We have to go outside and enjoy it. See, I normally like to use this view because, you know, if I bank the airplane, the view banks with it. But when it gets this turbulent, it's not even so much the bouncing around that bothers me. You can see how it snaps into position for a second and then like freeze up. It's as if the view is hitting a detent. Something with SimCoder's head shake there. SimCoder's head shake is free, but I don't know why it does that, so we'll just go to this view. That's shift 4. We were just looking at shift 8, basically. Shift 4 keeps the camera steady, and the airplane bounces around. Whereas shift 8, it's like a wingman view, so they encounter the turbulence with you. Okay, Joe, how are you today?
Ground runway tree taxi via Foxtrot. Health 1711, descend at pilot's discretion, maintain flight level 240.
Oh, that's cool. You're doing a fair amount of airport development there, K-Joe. It's always appreciated. The less flat slabs we have to land into, the better. And you're a young guy. I bet, like, if you keep at it, you're gonna just keep learning more and more. We don't have enough GPB 500s out there, you know? Sal, how are you? So we're going to follow that river. Well, hold on. We've got to make sure. Because there is kind of a cool potential to go down that one. But I don't know if that's going to take us where we want to go. I don't think we're going to do that. I think what we're seeing here now is... Ooh. Is it? There might be this. A little town called Bray. So there's a little town here. And maybe that's Prey. And it takes you right up in there. But we're not going to turn down there. We're going to go up that way for now. If I get it wrong, we'll just turn around and come back. But let's head to about a heading of 210 for now. I'm going to rewind time a little bit. I don't really want to do a night flight. So ideally, let's have a quick look here. We had already passed Flying Y. I've noticed a few of these private airports, like Flying Y. A lot of similar, I don't know, airports. Just sort of like single letter names. But it's kind of interesting. So passing Prey, we should see Immigrant, town of Immigrant, and then after that, we might see this little lake over there. Oh, I think that's it. I think that if you look over here, the river is following this way. See how there's like this rise in terrain, and then there's this body of water. And if you look over here, right, it's like the yellowish appearance, meaning lower altitude, and then coming up it's tan, 6,000, and then there's this body of water higher up, so might be it. And then there should be a little town, that's, I guess, the town of Immigrant right there. I think we're doing pretty good as far as making sure we are in the right place.
This 326 contact departure.
Oh, look at those mountains. That looks awesome. We got to do that again. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Alright, so we're going to turn, continue down that river. P. Bass, how's it going? So we're going to turn to about 210. And then eventually we're going to make this hard turn to about 130. It's going to take us over the airport of Gardiner.
Departure radar contact.
And we'll have Corwin Springs and Gardiner Airport. So it looks like it's going to happen right in that groove right there. Right, yeah, it's not that. Do I only do VFR in America? Right now, that's the case, yes. I don't have any photo scenery overseas. But I would like to eventually. John Fly was doing some nice overseas VFR scenery. I've seen J-Snap flying in Iceland. He's got some nice areas out there.
King or 2 Bravo Charlie, correction.
I like to fly around by the Alps would be nice.
133.55.
What's the link? Like, what does it have to do with? As long as it doesn't say the word twerking in it. Apparently Chili's had some people, Chili Willy. Okay. Yeah, explain forms. That's fine. Apparently, like, some people had posted links in Chili Willy's chat that was actually a link to a virus. So if you guys see people posting links in other people's chats, and I think I had like the word twerking in it, be really careful. I'll check that out for sure. P-Bass guys. Oh man. We are cruising along, enjoying his views, loving it. We're going to make a left over there. Pay for the French scenery? Oh, that does look nice. got the shadows on too with the fences and everything. That looks cool. Hopefully in my next update of hardware I'll consider running with the shadows turned on. It does look cool in certain cases. It looks so, it just adds that level of realism. But shadows for me, they eat up 10 frames. And I like my frames. Can people fly like this in real life? Oh, you mean like in real life? Like, what do you mean, like what? Exactly. You mean fly and looking out the window and navigating visually? Absolutely. It's called PilotEdge. PilotEdge. Pilot. PILOTAGE. PilotEdge. You got PilotEdge and Dead Reckoning. Dead Reckoning is when you read the winds forecast. You figure out how fast your airplane's going to go over the ground and how much the wind is going to cause your aircraft to drift over the ground, in what direction, and then compensate with the heading, and then you take off and then you say, okay, from point A to point B at this speed, at this altitude, in this direction, it will take my airplane 2 hours and 58 minutes to get there. So theoretically, what you should be able to do is take off, start your timer, hold that heading, and then look down at that time and see that you're right over the spot. But the winds change, they shift, there's little variances that take place. So that's called Dead Reckoning. And then PilotEdge is when you're looking out the window and basically making sure by looking at your chart and the details that you see in the chart and what you see at the window are the same, so you know where you are. So when you combine the two, Dead Reckoning, PilotEdge and Dead Reckoning, you get like a really good idea where you are at all times, and you make little checkpoints and stuff like that. So it's basically the primary way you do your private pilot certificate, because you're learning VFR flight, visual flight rules flight. What you're seeing me do right now is mainly PilotEdge. I haven't done any planning of winds and times and anything like that. So yeah, I keep sort of trying to say PilotEdge very obviously, since we're flying on PilotEdge. So Josh Techie, no, I did not build that PC myself. I got it from a company that makes PCs strictly for flight simulation. Well, dedicated to flight simulation. Of course, you can use it for anything you want, but they are very knowledgeable in flight simulation, and they are called Jetline Systems. Alright, so we're going to come up on Gardiner. You know, I do remember flying down this valley once before. And we're going to fly past Gardiner, kind of trace down this way. And then I want to come up, boy, we're going to need to get some altitude, I think. So do I see I don't think we passed Gardiner Airport yet. This is probably... Oh, here's Gardiner Airport. Hold on. Ninja, I don't know if you're with us. Gardiner Airport is 29er Sierra, 29S. And that's a little bit displaced as well off the ortho. You can see the dark one is the ortho runway. Even that looks sort of warped by the mesh. But then the actual air... Wait, hold on. Oh, yeah, here it is in ortho. It's actually quite misplaced, so... Alright, so here's the airport, here's the city. And then as we go through the city... A little tiny yellow box there. We're going to kind of hook around. So it looks like it goes around that way, and then we're going to follow it up that way, I think, right? Yeah, it's going to go around this way. let's see, we should, if we were to, oops, I don't want to do that. Out of here, it'd be like 143. So, yeah. So Joe, yeah, if I had the ability, there's a couple of those limiting factors for me to build my own machine, and I would consider doing it. But there's a lot of people that are on the chat right now, and as well as in general, that could probably give you ideas. Although, if your name is Joe the Techie, then you might already be comfortable in doing your own PC building. So what I'm going to do is follow this and then come around that way, right? It's about 143. Just turned it to 150. Man, look at that. That looks so cool. Between this, which looks awesome, and you got like that peak right there, and just these mountains in the background. I like it. There's another little town over here. Okay. And that's Mammoth. And what we're going to do is just kind of, we're doing this basically. So just sort of following the road. That away. Wow. Oh, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, so what I liked about the guys at Jetline, there was a lot of positives as far as my experience with them, because I was, you know, I've been a Mac user for years, but I got finally to the point where I'm like, there's just, you know, to buy a Mac, which to do what I wanted it to do in flight simulation would have cost a lot more than I paid for that Windows machine there. And not to mention the way Macs typically are, it would have really had a sort of a finite life. I would have had to... We're going to follow that road. Basically, let's see, if I follow that, it's going to take me 060. Hold on. Let me just see. Yeah, it does turn 060 momentarily. Alright, so let's go with that. So, you know, to upgrade it later on would have been basically not an option. So I did some basic research, but then I talked to them on the phone, and they're really cool guys over there. They even when you're done, like just getting what you want to get, they'll sit on the phone and just talk with you about flight simulators. Like they'll say, oh yeah, you know, I did this flight, blah 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 blah. Yeah, I've been flying the such and such airplane. I've been flying over this kind of scenery. Like they're totally into flight simulation. You know, it's like they're total hobbyists into it. So, and then I ran into a problem where, you know, that I had the 6700K, right? So natively that's 4 gigahertz. They advertise it as overclocked to 4.6, and I kept getting blue screens. So they ended up. Eventually, we tried all kinds of things, and then eventually they had it shipped back to them on their own dime. And we're just going to continue following this road, man. It's kind of hard to see now, and unfortunately, it's like a totally different photo source, or not source, but different time it was taken, different time of year, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, I was just having all these problems. And they had it sent back to them, and then when they still couldn't get it to work, they finally just upgraded me to the 7700K. And on top of that, because I had said, all right, you know, I'll watch some videos. You guys can make a video I'll have a friend of mine come over and help me install it. And he's like, you know what? We're going to get a local tech person in your area. We'll pay them. We'll send them over to your house to install it for you. So I just thought that was like really good support in general. You know, like they could have just as well said, you know what? Yeah, it's great if it's overclocks, but you know what? Because it was running okay at stock speeds. It was just not overclocking the right way. So they ended up sending people, you know, they're sending a guy to my house and doing it for me, and has not been a real problem since. I mean, it's not blue screened on me. Finally got it so that X-Plane is really not crashing anymore. Alright, eventually we're supposed to follow a road that's going to turn us 194, and I have a feeling that I might be losing it, but we'll see. Hopefully it's going to come up and turn to that heading. Let's see, 194 is going to be like a direct right turn. And it's going to be over some it might be coming up that ridge. And we're at 9,500. Oops. This pass is 10,200. We got to start climbing. Oh boy. All right. So, all right. I see this road over here. But is that the one? Maybe it's this. Maybe it's this groove here. Hopefully that's, or it could be down that way. We said 194, right? Let's start the climb at the very least. So let's get to 11.5, or at least plan on it. And hey, Bucky, how's it going? So that is not 194. But that, I don't see a road. I think I missed my turn. Well, hold on. Let's see something else. So if I missed this road, then there would have been this river. Let's take that. Let's follow that for now. Let's see what happens. That's always a good way to fly, you know. Let's see what happens. Let's just do it. Ninja, have a great one, buddy. Sorry I missed your departure. If you already left. Thanks for hanging. So yeah, there was like some road that went up. That looks like a road going about 194. But we'll just ride this out and around. Wow. So ultimately what's going to happen is that this is going to lead us down and into Yellowstone Lake. The lake is surface of the water looks like to be about 7,700 feet. So that lake is going to be hard to miss. And it would make sense that now that we're coming up and over the high terrain here, all that water is going to, all these rivers are going to run down into that lake. So we should be okay. In fact, I'm going to start descending back down again. Let's see, but the lake is at 7,700. So if you call that 8,000, we're 11.5. That's what, 3,500? I don't know. Maybe we'll stay up here for a while. So you got the river down there. Yeah, look at that. I can see the lake right there. See the blue? It's kind of in the haze. See the river going down that way. I wanted to just turn and go directly there, but it's kind of neat following this little river here. It's kind of washed out photography. It still looks damn good. So here's a road coming back down. Maybe that's the road that we were originally trying to follow. See if it intersects with this other road over here. Right, we're gonna like come down here, and there's another road coming in, and then a road will follow the river right down to the lake. This probably follows the river. So somehow we just sort of lost sight of it. You know, Jason, I don't know if you're still here, but that's interesting what you typed about sailing and being able to navigate without stars. And that is interesting. Graphics work. What else is he doing? Alright, we're going to turn. We're heading a 150 for now. Yeah, you can see the road obscured with the shadows of the trees. Let's go about a 1413140 heading should do this well. Yeah. Here's 130 basically, 129. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, guys, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna let this thing cruise by the lake. So I'm just gonna send it over the top of the lake. And then we're just gonna sort of continue on following that road. I'll just be right back. So let me just kind of put it about, let's see, 130. Just really enjoy the view. Be right back. Let's go pull the power back a little bit. Alright. So this road is going along the edge of the lake, and then it looks like it's going to shoot off in that direction. That's kind of where we need to go. So we're going to follow that. Sylvan Pass, little lake in there, entering the mountains. It's going to sort of zigzag in some cool valley stuff. And then we're going to follow the Shoshone River. Buffalo Bill Reservoir. Okay, I guess we'll ride that for a little while. Did I send you? I didn't see it, Rod. I don't know if you sent me. Is it a link, a whisper thing? That you didn't send me a whisper, but feel free to send it to me if you got one, man. Oh, good timing to switch our fuel tanks. Okay, so switched it to the left one, and we are resetting our timer, and it's up and running. Oh, well, if you click on my name, and then you do whisper, and then just link it there. Thanks. Alright, sounds great, man. Thank you. Yeah, I'll check it out. So yeah, we're heading into here. You can see this little body of water there. Man, look at all that. All that mountain goodness there. So we're coming up here, Sylvan Pass. We're going to be following Route 16, 14, 16, 20. So let's hope we make it down through there okay. And in general, it's going to follow, like, we're at 100. So, yeah, like, 100. Oh, I keep doing that. It's annoying. 062, 120, 074. You know, like on average, basically easterly direction. But it's easy to lose sight of these roads, you know, if you're more than a mile off in either direction because of the peaks. Not to mention when it gets washed out in this other color here. So yeah, we're just going to follow right along that way. Can't imagine driving this road. It must look amazing. It's kind of cool seeing the these little clouds got tagged in the photography. It's definitely an area you want to make sure your brakes work well. Certain a quick glance, it almost looks like real fog, you know? But most likely it was pretty high up and casting shadows. Like if we were flying over in an airliner looking down at this would look 3D, these little clouds with the shadows, but the angle that we're hitting it kind of gives it away. Alright, so this road continues down, and then you can see there's definitely a river over there. And maybe a roadway. Let's just have a quick look here. So we can expect that we're going to end up turning about 080070. And that, to stay on course, would actually be about a 040. I think we're going to be going that way. That's where we want to go. Because that's showing about 120. And that might be this segment right here, 113, based on the way I have it drawn out here. So we'll do that. And then maybe that turns 1070 around there. We'll see how that works out. Although it looks like it would be nice to drive or fly down there as well. But yeah, you can see our road follows there, whereas over here is just the river. So we'll cruise on that way. Turn to heading about 120. Man, those mountains are just ridiculous. Taco, what's going on? So yeah, now we're going to head to that 070 heading. Yeah, right, W28, sure does. This whole area is also Google. One thing you can do is just build it in Bing first and then start running tiles with a VPN service in Google. That's the challenge with Google, is it cuts you off after for a 24-hour period. I can usually get about 3 tiles done, and then it's saying, alright, no more. Then you gotta turn on your, blocking, basically. Oh wow, look at that. Total visibility clearing. You can see some different time frame it was taken over on this side. Okay, so we're doing about 080 following that road. Should see Buffalo Bill Reservoir off in the distance soon. Yellowstone Regional. I guess we just go to World VFR for a little while. Yep, there's the reservoir. I always wonder what this is like the normal operating temperature of this airplane. Temperature outside is 0 degrees Celsius. It's not like I'm overly leaned out or anything. My cowl flaps are wide open. So I'm wondering if that's like a normal temperature. I mean, it's well below the red, but the green arc begins at what looks like about 90, 80, 75 to 80. Or maybe it's closer to 90. I feel like the older rep packs used to require more management with the cowl flaps, but so we're heading over to some more greener, lighter green ortho. We're definitely out of the range of ATC. Let's go ahead and pull up the nearest one. Let's see, nearest air traffic control transmit. Either that or it's totally quiet. Should be fine. Alright, so let's go ahead and select. Oops, that wrong guy. And 132.4. Let's see. Have the plane had an update to X-Plane 11 rep or Coronado? This airplane is not. The rep pack works. Oh, let me put my speed back in there. It does. It'll work in X-Plane 11 as far as the rep software, from what I understand. But Coronado has not updated this airplane yet for version 11, which is why I'm still flying it in 10 right now. And what I did notice was that like all the performance numbers that are in X-Plane 10 are different in X-Plane 11. So I'm guessing that sim coders might be waiting for them to modify the plane or update it before they.
Sky 52 until radar contact, say altitude.
Alright, coming up on the reservoir. Wow, that looks so nice. Yeah, sure. Somebody was in here the other day saying something about it too, that they had bought the airplane with the rep, and they're like, I can't get the airplane to go over 130. And the first question I asked him was, are you flying an X-Plane 10 or X-Plane 11? And he said 11. I was like, well, that's why. Now Coronado alone, so this airplane in X-Plane 10 and Coronado by itself, cruised at like 160, which apparently was way too fast for the real airplane. So then when putting the rep, it does this, you know, about 140 to 150. And in X-Plane 11, it's like down between 125 and 135. So once we get past the Buffalo Bill Reservoir, alright, we're going to continue on this heading until we get to Cody, and then we'll sort of proceed up along the highway and railroad tracks. It's not even really necessarily a highway, to Powell, Cowley, and so on, until we get to Bighorn Lake. It's kind of interesting over here. See, now I realize I had flown out here once before, but I came from this direction. Shoshone, South Fork, came around, turned around this way, and then went back up the way we just came down. Hey, Rod, what's going on? Happy Sunday to you, sir. We're getting in a nice little alphabet challenge flight. So we're going to sort of shoot down this way. That looks cool. Oh, look at that peak out there. It's been a really cool scenic flight today so far, Rod. In fact, let me paste the link to the flight right now for you.
Delta 1711, join hotel to the ramp, remain this frequency.
So we're, if you click on that, we're passing Buffalo Bill Lake, or Buffalo Bill Reservoir. It makes orthos, but can't find DSFs. Yeah, for sure. Actually, that link is the actual Sky Vector link. So it's not the Brad. Wait, actually, you told me it was Brado. No, you gave me like a name to say. Maybe it was just Brad. But anyway, sorry, I forgot. Man, that just looks so cool. I love it. Yeah, that's just the Sky Vector route.
American 343, Denver ground, runway 35 left, taxi via Mike.
I see what you're saying, to catch the other parts of the legs. Yeah, I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Brady, thanks. I'll try to remember that. So, Brady, it's supposed to download it for you. You have the choice to put in files. Look at that little bridge down there. Hold on. That looks cool. Looks like a pedestrian bridge or something. But it's supposed to be able to... You don't need to. I never do. But I'm actually wanting to do it because Ninja with Guitar, who was here earlier, he's been doing that with some like higher resolution versions. But what you're seeing outside right now is just based off of, you know, what it does for you. All right, so we're gonna make a left pretty soon. Let's see. Okay, this is. Let me aim myself about 080. So we're coming over the town. And then at the city, at the airport, if we turn 020, we'll follow a road and tracks. We could just go straight. For some reason, I found myself wanting to kind of go up this way and hit up these towns and then come down Bighorn Lake. And if I remember correctly, I had flown up here once before. I just feel like I remember turning at a plant and following a river. But who knows? I've probably done it. Look, here's another plant with the river. I mean, they're all kind of blending together. So we'll see. So there's the airport. And I guess we could keep going that way. 020 would take us up that way. All right, yeah, we'll follow that up there. That looks doable, right? Why not? It's the original plan. We'll stick to it. At least that runway is lining up properly. Alright, so we'll do the 020 right about there. So when I select the tiles and all the settings I want in Orthoforks P, and then build batch at the end, when it's done, it says failed to find DSFs. When I put all ortho at the bottom, there's no roads in the place I just made. Okay, so if you didn't do the step afterward of, so when you build the tiles, you also have to make sure that you've checked off build overlays. So the overlays are what makes the actually makes the roads for you.
Enter 552 at the Worland departure. Did you get a frequency change from Worland Tower? Alright, November 9 552 hotel, disregard, remain this frequency. November 9 552, Roger, radar services terminated, squawk VFR, frequency change, device reapproved.
You just realized you didn't build any overlays? It's alright. I don't have any overlays right now. I'm just flying over photo roads. Although, is it building actual scenery for you? I mean, if it's saying it can't find DSFs, I'm not really sure what that's about. Alright, so this 030-020 heading is doing okay with us. And then basically it's going to sort of turn to 050. We're going to see the town of Powell. Before that would be Ralston. Ralston, Powell, Garland. So we should be up on... Maybe that's Ralston right there. Right, because we're making the turn now about 050. Or I think that's Ralston right there, because it's like a little open circle, small development. Powell. This kind of makes sense. Right? It's a little bit bigger. It's even pretty close to the shape. Let's go to Billings sectional chart. See how it's sort of almost round, sort of straight edge on the far east side. Maybe, maybe not. Well, although, to be fair though, like this depiction is more about the light pattern than about the shape of the actual town. There's a road going east-west through it. So here's the road coming off westerly, easterly maybe. All these scattered homes to the south. Turn toward that river.
23 different hour. Wind 090, it takes runway 35 left, river takeoff.
So from Ralston through Powell area, it's heading about 060. It should be past Garland, this little body of water. I'm kind of following this river area too down here, I think. It's kind of interesting. The road is going to take a... Actually, this might be the railroad tracks at this point. Let's see. Well, yeah, like the road makes this right turn, and then the railroad track's going to go to the left. I think. Oh, thanks. Well, Brat Brady offered to shoot me something. Check out those fields. I mean, I haven't been utilizing any kind of logo anyway, so. So yeah, there's the road coming out to the right and down in that direction, and then the railroad tracks. You can kind of see, actually, that's the curve of the railroad tracks just slipping underneath the so those are the railroad tracks right there.
Area 343, contact Denver departure.
Autopilot didn't like that too much. Autopilot's like, why are you doing that? Now I gotta do all this and that.
American 343, Denver departure. The instruction should have been climb via.
Yeah, yeah, it is pretty cool.
Yeah,
I remember
it's all the way up to 23 as well.
Squirrel. They were talking a lot about that. Squirrel was talking about. Remember at the conference, sort of just had like a recognizable brand.
Negative now is when you.
Okay, so we're following our road down here, and down that way. Little town in here, and at this point, to stay with that and this road, we're probably gonna need to turn to anything about 05. 0. So you see how the road came down and the road tracks curved upward. If I kept 060, would we end up seeing that body of water out there? Let's see. I wonder if that's the body of water right there. Did I like bork my autopilot? Or are we gonna level off? No, we're slowly leveling things off. I think we had like an X-Enviro wind change. Down here. Let's see. Are we still where we're supposed to be going? So I don't know. Honestly, I'm not really sure if we are in the right place. Either way, I'm gonna hit this river, and if I go too far, we're gonna hit a mountain. So there's the high terrain up there. I think I see the lake. I'll just sort of head to that. Okay. Let's see. When I load OBS in X-Plane, it gets really laggy and makes me mad because I want to. Yeah. I know your feelings. So, what are your... Just, if you can type in your basics. What processor do you have? What video card do you have? So here's that lake. I wonder if I'm supposed to really sort of come out from around this way and down. Because at one point... See, I'm heading... No, that's what we're seeing here. This is kind of coming down from Cowley and Lovell. So I think Cowley is like here. And then I think this is Lovell. And look at those mountains out there. Oh yeah. That looks good. Hey Nagy, what's up? 4770 and a 1060. Okay, so so you have two choices. If you run OBS off of the H264, is it? Hold on. I doubt I can pull it up right now. Let me just check. Settings will tell us. Okay, so the NVENC H264. So this is your NVIDIA encoder, and then the other choice, where it just says X264, is the CPU encoder. With if you're using CPU encoder, and you go to the there's another setting that's down in like the preset or profile. You want to make sure it's either try super fast, where basically wherever it says like ultra fast, super fast, all that stuff, that is going to the faster the speed, the less CPU intensive it's going to be. All right. And then when you run it down to like fast, or like very fast, faster, fast, medium, now you're getting more and more CPU. The stream will look sharper, but you'll run into more CPU intensive usage. If you run it like I am off of the NVENC, or however the hell you're supposed to say that, that's going to be more off your GPU. Alright, so that changes things. So you got to kind of play around with that.
43% our climb and
that makes
maintain.
sense. Alright, so we're going to turn
Maintain level 350.
and hang a turn down that way. Let's just have a quick look again at oops, that's not what I wanted. Alright, so we're here at Bighorn Lake. We're going to turn basically like that, right? So we're like crossing the lake. So about 165. Damn it. Okay. So Jason app, I went to the local hardware store the other day, and like, we don't have wood here. You'll have to go to the lumber place. I was like, oh man, you gotta be kidding me. Like, I finally like made it down there. So maybe after work I'll stop off at Home Depot because they have a lot of wood. I went to the local lumber place and they were closed. On a Saturday, they were closed. Saturday afternoon. It wasn't even that late, but whatever. Alright, so I think we're like following this. Very bright and dry looking out here. Although I like those mountains. Is that? Yeah, I guess that's where I want to be going. Gray Bull Airport. Oh, well, I figured a piece of wood I'd be able to cut. And then after I cut the piece of wood, I can... I have to actually attach it to the top of the bezel of the TV. So if I cut it with a saw, I can get it... Like, I basically am going to make like a wider bezel and then cut a notch on the other side. It was not complicated. And then it will sit on top of the bezel, like rest in, you know, like a notch. That's what you get when you're done making tiles. Hold on. Oh. Yeah, so... You're not getting, it's not finding files to basically get the data from to make the overlays. So you're going to build it off your X-Plane 11 global scenery, right? That's what you want to build it off of, or X-Plane 10 global scenery. That's what I used. If that's the case, you gotta click on the browse button. Wait, hold on, is that what it is? Let's see. So you click on the custom overlay directory, and then what you do is you follow the path all the way. You're supposed to stop one level above the Earth Nav data folder. And then you, once you get there, you select folder, and then you'll click on build overlay, and then it should work. Alright, I see an airport up there. It's pretty flat terrain here. Hey, look at this. It's like a levee that broke, you know? It's kind of crazy looking. It didn't work for me. Yeah, I used X-Plane 11. What was here? What's the matter, Nikki? Oh, wait, here it comes. Oh, no, wait, that's not it. Yeah. So you click on that. Except I don't. But you see how it has Earth nav data in there? I think you don't want that. You want to stop at the level above it. So that might not work. You can try it, but it might not work. Oh, good. All right, awesome. All right, so we're cruising on down. Is this what I'm seeing? Worland. All right, and then there's a town to the south. Worland. Wait, now I'm confused. Okay. This town is to the north of the airport. Northwest of the airport. But this town is to the south of the airport. Where the hell am I? Unless we're at Bighorn, but it might be Bighorn. Although this is missing a runway. What's my adding coming down here? 150, and this is 140. Whereas coming down to this one, we're going to be like 175. So I think we're in the area of South Bighorn, except for that runway didn't make sense to me. Alright, let's just go have a look at that airport again. Oh yeah, it's 2 runways, okay. It's just one of them is very small. So that's the other runway. Okay, so we're at Bighorn. Alright, cool. Oops, we're getting off altitude here. Cool. Oh, those little airplanes down there. Yeah, those mountains look nice, huh? I'm glad it's working. I'm glad JSnap taught me well. Alright, so we've confirmed that that was South Bighorn. And now we're continuing toward the town of Basin. There's Basin. Yeah. It's quite a muddy river. Is VFR a requirement? You mean for the Alphabet Challenge? No, it's not a requirement for the Alphabet Challenge. The Alphabet Challenge, they encourage you to do it any way you want. GPS, IFR, VFR. The whole idea behind it is really just to get you seeing different airports that you might not normally pick. The reason... So I've been flying flight sims as far as like civilian type flight sims probably since 1999, 98, 99. Explain 3.5 and beyond, and pretty much the only kind of simming you really did was IFR. There was no real VFR features to reference that well, so it was a lot of fun. You know, you're just shooting approaches, tracking radials, you know, VOR approaches, NDB approaches, ILS approaches, and then came along this amazing photo scenery that has totally changed our ability to do this kind of flying. So I guess it's like, you know, close to 20 years of simming IFR, and I'm only 2 years into VFR. I'm sort of catching up, you know what I mean? So, but I still, like, I do the IFR in the airliners. I'll do IFR in here too. I do enjoy shooting approaches and navigating IFR, even sometimes in VMC conditions, in this airplane and in the Baron. But yeah, whenever, you know, it can, it's just, I'll do this. Or like I'll, you know, the nice thing with IFR, even in VMC, is the air rates will take you over some areas that you might not fly VFR just due to the lack of, like, I like to follow a lot of the road stuff. So sometimes that'll change it up a little bit, you know, in the small airplanes, low and slow. If that makes sense. Okay, I see my road and river. It's changing direction potentially, so I'm going to follow that. Yeah, true, Jason. That's usually when I'll do IFR in this airplane or the Baron, is when there's clouds or let's say the destination I want to go to is mixed. You know, there's definitely going to be some clouds, low ceilings on the way, but yet there's VFR mixed in. I love that because now you could file the IFR flight plan, fly the flight on the nav aids, but yet still enjoy some of the scenery down below when the clouds sort of break up here and there. Say we're kind of just cruising along. We passed Basin, and then I want to turn at Worland. So I better get, let's see, 175 heading. We'll be turning at Worland. So I have a feeling that's Worland. So here's the city. You can already see the airport because the runway's in alignment with our directions, so it's easy to spot.
American 33, contact Albuquerque Center 124.32.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, so you're dealing with a hard drive, basically a hard drive issue, both between the amount of space you have, the connectivity, and then where you'd run your sim. Alright, so the town and the airport, and at that point we're going to turn up this Route 16.
American 343, Albuquerque Center, roger, cross trees 0 miles northwest of the Panhandle VOR to maintain 1000. The Amarillo altimeter, tree 048.
Let's see, wait, Route 16 goes in what direction? 080. So 080 is going to go back that way, so we're looking for a road. That's it right there, I think, right? Here's town, airport. It's before north of the airport, right? Yeah. So I think like here's heart of town here, and the road comes off of that way, and I believe that's what we're gonna follow because I don't see any other roads branching off 080. So let's go ahead and make that turn. And we can continue to confirm it. Yeah, if you have 800 gigs, you could do a nice little area of ortho to fly in. And like JSnap suggested, you know, certain areas that you're just going to fly over, you maybe do a 16, I think a 16, zoom level 16 tile is about 2.3 gigabytes. So that's like, you know, you're looking at a third of what a 17 is. And I think zoom level 16, once you're over 5,000 feet, looks pretty damn good, you know. So you can do zoom level 16, and then if you're doing FSE, look at the airports you commonly go to, and just use a 5-kilometer radius, which is about 3 miles, I guess, to go maybe zoom level 17 if you want, you know. So that when you take off and land in those airports, it looks a little sharper. Okay, so we're coming up 16. Eventually it's going to turn to a town called 10 Sleep. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, you can just rebuild them, exactly. Yep, that's good advice. Yeah, oh, that's cool. You can see the road pretty well. It goes like right up that way. Oh man, I've been flying on one tank for a long time. I'm like, why haven't this changed? I just looked and look at the difference. These two. I didn't start my. I think like I switched my time, but didn't confirm that it started. No. So Zoom Level 17 is really popular because it's sharp to a pretty low altitude. I think it looks sharp to about 1,500 feet. And then once you go below 1,500, below 2,000 or 1,500, then you can start to see it getting soft. Now, if you're on a smaller computer monitor, that will be delayed. So if you're flying on a laptop monitor, you know, it'll probably look good even to a lower altitude. Uh oh, got some haze issues. So we're following that road. I see some farmage up there. Eventually we're going to turn to a heading of 040 approximately. It's going to take us up into the mountains, ski area, 9,600. Stand by. Gotta answer that phone. Hold on. Hey guys, sorry I'm cheating because I just have to just stand by. I had to pause the sim for a second. Sorry about that, guys. Little immersion ruined. I never pause flights like that on an Alphabet Challenge run, but I had to run next door for a sec. At least we weren't talking ATC. Alright, so it looks like our road is coming up, going through here. I think that's the town. See how it's a little town there, irrigated too, so some kind of farming maybe going on. So that's probably 10 sleep. And notice that we're going to follow a curve up and into the mountains, ski area, little body of water. So it looks like it is going up into the hills. So it's got to be 10 sleep right there. And you notice that the airplane's sort of rocking back and forth. That's X-Enviro's weather kind of being updated. Hopefully 11,500 will be adequate for what we got to do here. This is going to be what's this called? So the Powder River Pass, 9,677. Yeah, it's doing it again. It's very strange. Alright. Anyway, let's go ahead and turn that way. Let's see, Nagy's. I thought I'd be able to do that. Yeah, it's only 18. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I guess we're talking about the different zoom levels. And does it make, I'm trying to do a huge improvement over stock scenery? Yeah. Yeah, you see this wind just keep rocking back and forth. Here it goes again. Maybe it's supposed to simulate gusty winds. But what's strange in 106, this is X-Enviro 106, is that the wind gust, it's as if it's coming from the left side. It feels like also quite often it makes the aircraft roll to the right. Like all of a sudden you get a huge surge of wind coming from the left, creating more lift. And then look at that, it drops off. Kind of weird. Alright, so anyway, we're heading 050, and this is basically 043, but I'm really on this side. And we're going to kind of go like that. And so 050 is looking about right. I don't see a ski area just yet. Usually even in this there's the body of water, so the ski area must be there. I think that's the body of water I'm looking for now. We have a loading of haze, changing some of this, hope it doesn't sock in. Ski areas are usually really obvious. Might as well check our altimeter setting also. This one's saying 30-33, which I think we're pretty close to anyway. Okay. That's a pretty cool looking valley down here. Is this a valley or is this a gorge? I don't know the difference. No, I don't. I don't use masks inland. That takes all your lakes and makes them look weird. I mean, on my personal taste, I'm not a fan of inland masks. That's just a personal thing, so you might like it though. I like immediately shot it down there. It's like, no, don't do that. It sucks. But like I said, I didn't mean to sound that way about it. Just not really a fan of the way it looks. Check out this switch back here. Yeah, I mean, especially, I found that out just through trial and error, though. I literally would make a tile. This one day I spent an afternoon, I made like the same tile 3 or 4 times over and was loading it in the sim and taking screenshots, trying to get like the same exact angle for every screenshot. Like I left the airplane on the ground and I would just sort of zoom out into the air. And then I would look at it again and again. So I probably spent like a few hours playing around with it. Kind of came up with the settings that I like. Here, I think that's the ski area. Look like some trails here. Oh, this is further up. So we're gonna follow this around, and that's the pass. Alec, how you doing? You have a hockey game. All right, Brady, have a good one, man. And thanks. I'll check out that logo. Thanks for. So I assume if I give you feedback or something, I don't want you to spend crazy time on it, but thank you for the offer. And I don't really use the logo much, so, but thank you though. That does not look like a ski area. That was a wrong interpretation, I believe. It's probably somewhere up in here. So I think we're going to follow that up there. Wow, look at how it looks going back down. That looks cool. See, this is zoom level 17, and we're now kind of low. Oh, here's the ski area. Okay, it goes like right down into here. That has potential. Like it's a small, maybe like shoot down on a tube and fly across the water. That would be kind of fun. At least it sounds fun on paper. Until you're like barreling out of control, screaming for your life, hoping physics doesn't fuck you over. Dual shock. How's it going, man? Alec, yeah, it's scenery is pretty cool for sure, right? Oh, look, little patches of snow, I think. Hasn't melted yet. So once we get over here, we're going to be about 090. We're kind of going through this pass area, I think, and then we're going to follow Route 16. So I'm just gonna turn. It looks like the road's kind of going out that way. Yeah, so our radio altimeter is showing us, below 2,500. It's a weird assortment of random patches. Low res. This is all zoom level 17, but this is what was available. Then it's like higher res, just better photography. So even though you select 17, you're not always going to get a sharp piece of imagery. And then you have this, and then it goes to that. Right? Look at that. See that? So this road is kind of coming around this way and going, now that goes to a heading of about north, but I don't think we're following that. This is pretty cool though. It looks like it just drops. Let's see where we're supposed to be going now. Oh yeah, this is going to go north momentarily. So we'll go with that plan. Up that way. Well, a part of me just wants to fly out over this part. I think I might do that. Go a little bit further past here, like maybe this is what we're gonna end up over here. See, this thing drops based on that topography depiction. Let's do that. We'll go a little further out and then turn north. I'm going to rewind time a little bit. Keep it relatively nice daylight. So yeah, the road we're going to follow goes about north and then eventually turns. See a road kind of coming that way. I'm not sure if that's the same one. Yeah, we'll just take it until we run into it again. We'll see the town of Buffalo. Johnson City Airport. Which I think that's it right there. But we'll just kind of cruise on up and enjoy the view of these, all that rock. keep flying out of those PilotEdge coverage zones. Mm, 118,925. Here's the road. And that heads right on into Buffalo. There we go. Okay, so fuel tank switch, but yet we are still behind because we forgot to switch it earlier, so just going to reset the timer and stay on the same tank just to remind me to look again in 20 minutes. So there's Buffalo, there's a couple of bodies of water. So you got Buffalo, you got a body of water here, Lake de Smet, however you say that. And then we have this other little body of water. We're going to take the major highway going that way, Route 90. So there's that. There's that. And then we're going to take this high. Actually, there's a highway going that way, and there's a highway going that way. And I think we're going to go that way, out that way. So, let's just double check that. Yeah, so it's the other fork going about a heading of 126 and 30 about there. There's the airport. Turn 130. Cool. And let's turn it back a little bit. Okay, so it looks relatively flat. Let's see where we're going next. So we're going to be on this Route 90 for a little while. I think it's not too far. Our destination is not too far. Are we there yet? So basically we're at Buffalo. We got, let's see, 17 and 18 is 35, 45, 50, 77, 87, 89. Yeah, we're just about 100 miles. Oh, wow, no kidding, Rod. Damn. 3 miles visibility. But I'd imagine your filed IFR at that point, right? Even though it's technically marginal. Well, actually, what? Yeah. So I'd imagine now you do most of that flying in it's the SR20 or the 22. I think it's the 20, right? Oh yeah, the 22. So now is that one that you do a shared ownership as well, or you probably fly that enough that it makes sense to have like sole ownership on that one, right? Because I mean, you're all over the place for work on that. Oh, okay, you have a partnership on that one also. Cool. It's kind of interesting how their exits work over here. It's not really like a typical high-speed ramp that you come off of. I'm guessing maybe sparse enough traffic that people sort of just come off, go under, go to where they're going to go, and then so on. How many hours of sleep do you feel like you need to get, like, let's say you're going to go on a long flight. I don't know how many hours usually to stretch before you land and sort of chill out. But, you know, like, are you pretty good at getting your 8 hours, or do you find that you could do a pretty long flight without feeling like you're going to fall asleep for, you know, in 6 hours of sleep? He's not checked out in this Cirrus. Oh, that's interesting. So he got the partnership with you, probably planning to get checked out, but he just hasn't done it yet. Or did he have a friend that does fly it, and he would like to have him fly it? 9 hours. It is an interesting looking area. It's like so sort of like ribbed. He owns the local flight school and service center. Just has one research flight. Okay, cool. Yeah, so he has somebody flying him. Yeah. This terrain is pretty, it's like in a way it's featureless, but in a way it's not, you know. Well, it looks a little washed out in the color as far as the pictures go, even though it's consistent. I wonder if it looks like this in real life, or if it's a little sort of washed out. Yeah, well, you sure are, man. That's cool. He's like, you know, we'll get that thing up if you know, let me own some of the airplane. Got like a little brown river, muddy river going on here. Alright, so we're currently showing a heading of about 080. And there's a stretch along here that's 084. And then another one eventually. Well, I think we're here because you see this river, Powder River. I think that's what we just crossed. I think it's like right underneath us right now. In fact, what I'll do is I'll just see. Yeah, there it is, Powder River. They should call it the Brown Powder River, or maybe like the Brown Sugar River or something. It's kind of brownish looking at the moment. Of course, it's based on ortho. Cool. So we'll eventually get to a bend in the road that's taken us up to an approximate heading of, let's just sort of drop it down here. .060, taking us up toward the town of Gillette. That's where you landed. Gillette, the best a man can get. Do they make the razors there, or is that just a coincidence? Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, nice. Sloppy McFlop. That's a funny name, dude. Yeah. So the add-ons I have is this scenery add-ons. Scenery add-ons, no. This scenery that you're seeing out the window here is an add-on, but I didn't buy it. So maybe you should rephrase that. You're probably asking me, do I have add-ons in general? If that's what you're asking me, then yes, I do. I have scenery that's made with Ortho 4XP. It's free, though. The only thing it costs you is time and hard drive space. And if you were to do a web search on it, it would be Ortho, the number 4, and then XP for X-Plane. Ortho for X-Plane. So that's free. This airplane is made by Carenado. $27. And it's further enhanced with the Reality Expansion Pack for another $20. So, yeah, I have that. And then I also have a few other add-on airplanes. The IXCG 737-300, the Rotate Sim MD-88, or they just listed as the MD-80. And FlyJ Sim 737-200, which I'm looking forward to getting updated eventually. So I think that's kind of what you're asking, right? McFloppy? I think it's... okay. Alright, yeah. Yeah, so it's partly add-on based. So you're probably... So you installed X-Plane 11, am I correct on that? Oh. Wait. No. This is X-Plane, though. You're flying FSX? You bought FSX? This is X-Plane. This is X-Plane 10, and X-Plane 11 looks even better. Pajamas. The data that you see up there was something I got from a fellow flyer named JSnap. But there's another one out there that you can also easily get by a guy named Benesim, Benesim. Benesim Overlay. I don't have... Yeah, Sloppy McFloppy. It's because I'm a liar. No, I'm just kidding. So, there's not a lot of choices to stream under. Well, there is an X-Plane stream title, but many of us in X-Plane do stream under the Microsoft Flight Simulator title. Just like P3D users would stream under it, because actually there's no... I don't think there's even an option for P3D prepared. The main reason why I fly X-Plane under that stream title, I like to just spread the word of X-Plane. But some people also want to do it to get more viewers. So, yeah, you can fly from airport to airport, airport to airport. Yeah, much like I'm doing here. And then there's a lot of add-on stuff. But if you just got FSX, if you're new to flight sim, I would consider... Kind of sucks that you bought it, although I would imagine that if you didn't spend a lot of money on it, right? Download the demo of X-Plane 11. Download the demo. It's free. It runs for 10 minutes, and then you just quit and start it again. It's a localized area because it's a demo. But it just has a really cool future out of it. So we're coming up on Gillette out in front of us. We're going to continue on, heading at about 0. Let's see. 085. I believe that's Gillette. Pajamas, thanks for following. So, but what I'm doing here, you can do in FSX. It's just that, you know, your ability to do it with add-ons might cost you more money to get it to approach to look something like this in limited areas. $9. Yeah. I think it... I don't have it, so I'm going to be guessing here. I think it pretty much has the full world, but it's going to be generic scenery. It's not going to look pretty. And if you want to start adding things to it, then that's when it's going to cost you, you know, the extra money. So if you're going to do that, I would tell you to go X-Plane route. If you want it to look good, go to the X-Plane route. It's less expensive to make it look good. It flies better. It's really, truly is. It's been a great sim for a long time, but it's now sort of really breaking out into its own in a lot of ways. Yeah, you can buy like different scenery packages and stuff like that. But, you know, you start buying airports and sceneries that are, I don't know how much they are, ranging from $15 to $50 a pop. You know, and then you get these localized areas that will look good. But then you'll still have areas in between that might not so. Which is kind of the case in X-Plane, but like I said, next plane to get it to look good and realistic over a wider area, it's less expensive. So, City of Gillette, if we can confirm. Yep, there's Gillette Airport, Rod. See that out there? Rod will be able to confirm if it looks relatively realistic. Ah, here we go. Let's click the link. Oh, dude. That's like the exact... Oh, we got to pause it just to enjoy the angle. Oh, this is crazy. Oh, yeah, I'm just a little bit... I'm like... I guess you were at a different... you were on the other side, weren't you? Because... I am... Let me just zoom in. The angle I'm looking at, the little end of the runway's out on this side toward me, and for you it was on the other side. Oh, that's so cool. So like if we looked far enough out, we'd be like, hey, there's Rod out there. Awesome. And then you're seeing like all those quarries. So I guess that's this and this stuff, right? Wow. Wow, that's so cool. I don't know if anybody's looking at that link that Rod just posted. Okay, let's continue. Switch fuel tanks. Wait, actually, should I have done that? We're still a little bit more in the right. I think I'm going to leave it on the right. And then we'll switch it on the next one. Alright, so once we pass town of Gillette, which, like I said, continue. And yeah, then we're gonna basically shoot up these power lines. And we're gonna come up to Hulett. Hulett's at 4264. I think unfortunately the version I have will just be a flat slab with no airport detail. Thanks for sharing that picture, Rod. Kenny GZ. Okay. So yeah, Sloppy, you can download the X-Plane demo, try it on your machine, play around with the settings. What's the altitude of the... Yeah, 4,000 was the airport. Let's see what Gillette was at 4,000 also. 42, 43. It's all flat. You know, it's relatively high elevation. It's not very mountainous. And we're going to come up. Once the lake is going to be the major landmark for us. And oh, that's right. I remember last time I flew out here, Devil's Tower. It wasn't terribly well depicted out here, but it was there. 3033. Now let's see what the winds are actually. 260 at 10, gusting to 16. It's a pretty good crosswind too. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, so the 260 looks like what? 3-1. Runway 3-1 is going to be our best bet. There's nothing written here for traffic pattern altitude, so it's going to be 1,000 feet. Oh, it's over here. Okay. So, there it is. Body of water. We're going to have to start getting down. We're at 11.5. Alright, so we definitely got to start getting down. Let's do that. Let's get down to 7,500. And we'll take it easy on our ears. Okay, we got this little town over there. So that town, I believe, is Moorcroft. And at Moorcroft, we should see this road, which runs up with power lines. The road will eventually disappear, but the power lines will continue upward. And let's see, it's going to be right pattern for 3-1, so we'll have to keep that in mind. There's the road. X-plane power lines are not always the most reliable thing to follow. Okay, so we got this river coming up. Town. Oops. River. Road coming up there. So the river is before that road. About a 020 heading. So I'll just follow it right up there. I'll go ahead and turn right now to about 040 initially. Kind of just shoot out around that way. Come up. Okay. Cool. So yeah, once again, that road's coming up that way. Just gonna shoot that way about, like we said, 020. Let's go 030 now. Put this side over that way. And how many miles at this point? Okay. I'm glad I had time to do this flight today. Both the weather worked out and the time. At one point while I was planning, I was like, finally have good weather in the area, but no sim clouds to mess up. But then I was looking, I was like, oh man, I don't know if we're actually going to be able to get it in. Gotta fix those little black triangle squares out there. Like that's actually water, but something, triangle is missing. Alright, so it looks like the road's coming up. We're still following it up here, but at one point the road goes to the right, although now another part keeps going upward. So now, that's the Devil's Tower Monument. We're going to continue that way. Let's go check it out. I guess this is where, when we were talking last night about Orbix, like that might be a useful object if they did a high quality version of it, because we're going to be relying now solely on the mesh being created by Ortho4XP to get it accurate. But let's check it out, and then we'll sort of replan that direction. That point, we'll have to turn to heading at 040. Like, imagine if that had like a serious flat top and just that really characteristic look to it sitting there. That would be kind of cool. Dial in that 22.8. Okay. So yeah, if I recall correctly, it kind of has a shape of the tower. It's distinctive enough, but yet it's not accurate, you know. I wonder if I jacked up the amount of triangles in that area to really fill it in, would it be better? Or if the data's just not in there, I don't know. Here it is. Got to queue up the Close Encounters of a Third Kind, Close Encounters of the Third Kind music. So yeah, right, it's supposed to have like a flat top to it, I believe. And I think more vertical on the face. Alright, let's go 040. There's our road again. And it's 8 miles. I mean, you gotta get down to 4264. Let's call it 4300, 5300, and 500 is 5800. So that'll put us 500 feet above airport elevation. Airport traffic pattern elevation. Wait. Airport traffic pattern altitude, 500 feet above. I think that's it right there. So I'm just gonna because it's, what was it? It was right pattern for 3-1. So I'm gonna overshoot it. Maybe I'll make a left, come around, and a right pattern for 3-1. Alright, it's passing underneath our nose, basically. It's interesting, this little town down in here and this rim of terrain. We got some kind of drone aircraft going on down there. I'm gonna just sort of turn out that. Line this up with 3-1. We'll continue. Actually, what I should do is just continue out perpendicular a little bit longer. I'm gonna make a left turn to south, basically. Okay. Fuel tank switch. Perfect timing anyway. This should put us on a 45 for the downwind, right downwind runway 31. And then hopefully we'll see the airport again coming around. I think it's right there. Yeah. Switch frequencies.
Sturgis viewing weather. Wind 300 at 5. Visibility more than 10.
122 points to CTAF.
14, dew point minus 19.
Alright.
Altimeter 3030.
We'll pretend that we're on there. It's strange.
Sturgis viewing weather.
I wonder if anybody would hear us on there.
300 at 5. Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 14. Dew point minus 19. Altimeter 3030.
Is it Hulett or Hulett? Hulett traffic. Green White Bonanza 5716 of Bravo entering.
Sturgis viewing weather.
Right downwind runway 31
300
Hulett.
at 5. Visibility more than 10. Sky
Yeah,
clear.
we're turning, not final, but yeah, basically, uh-oh,
Altimeter 3030.
on downwind. Oh, you at the airport? Is that you? Okay, your gear's coming down.
Sturgis viewing weather. Wind 300 at 5. Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 14.
Got a little sloppy over here.
Altimeter 3030.
Oh yeah, we're tight over the terrain.
Sturgis viewing weather. Wind 300 at 5. Visibility more than
Hulett
10.
traffic. Green White Bonanza 5716 of Bravo's on our right base 131. Hulett traffic.
Altimeter 3030.
Okay, first notch of flaps. And Hulett traffic. Green White Bonanza 5716 of Bravo turning final 31 Hulett traffic.
Sturgis viewing weather. Wind 300 at 5. Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 14. Dew point minus 19. Altimeter 3030.
And we have an airplane going on the runway. Oh, lovely.
Sturgis viewing weather.
Let's see if we get this thing slowed down to 70. Normally we're doing 80,
Sky
but
clear. Temperature 14. Dew point minus 19. Altimeter 3030.
They should be off the ground by the time we get down there.
300 and 5. Visibility
There he
more
goes.
than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 14. Dew point -19. Altimeter 3030. Sturgis Muni weather. Wind 300 at 5. Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 14. Dew point -19. Altimeter 3030. Sturgis Muni weather. Wind 300 at 5. Visibility more than 10.
Hulett traffic. Hulett traffic. Green and white bonanza 5762. I was exiting 3-1.
Altimeter
Hulett traffic.
3030.
All right, let's stop right there.
Sturgis Muni weather. Wind 300
And
at 5.
let's
Visibility more
shut
than
that
10.
annoyance
Sky
off.
clear.
Thanks, Keith. Much appreciated. All right, let's submit the flight. Hopefully, it registered it. So what we gotta do now is go here. PE aware. Oh, looks. It says and counting. I'm just gonna sort of taxi around the airport for a moment. Hopefully it recognizes us as being there. The airport did look lined up with the terrain, so that's good. Bring our flaps up. We'll stop right there. And let's just put it like that on. And let's see, and counting. Let's refresh it. Ah, there we go. Good. It's dawn. It worked. Okay, so we're going to click on here. And it's going to show us our crazy flight path. So a straight line versus my line. And we'll go ahead and copy the ID. And we'll come back over here. And we'll go home. And we'll go Western US. Submit. Paste. And it should show us as completed flight 7. Yeah, baby. Nice. Alright, well that was a cool flight. It was very scenic in a lot of the areas. The last stretch was kind of, the last 80, 90 miles was not as exciting as the rest of it, but we'll pull up over here. Oh, my dog's going a little crazy out there. I'll pull up over here. Alright, we'll stop right over here. How close did we end up? Not that close. No, Nagy. It's in X-Plane 10. There's an X-Plane 10 and X-Enviro 106. There's a bug. It's X-Enviro. Well, it's part X-Enviro and X-Plane, and also part X-Plane. Somehow, like the way it handles the high definition CSLs. Now watch, if I shut off X-Enviro, it'll be just fine. See? So, I submitted a video bug report to highlight the whole thing, and they wrote back explaining, you know, sort of like how it works, and it's technical above my understanding. So, yeah. Let's disconnect from the network. We could do a quick replay. Let's see.
Disconnected.
Disconnected. I'll do a. Oh wait, it's on there. Replay.
Sturgis Muni weather. Wind 260
It
at
rewinds
10.
me back to the
Visibility
annoying
more than 10.
ATIS.
Sky clear. Temperature 14. Dew point -19. Altimeter 3030. Sturgis Muni weather. Wind 260 at 10. Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 14. Dew point -19. Altimeter 3030. Sturgis Muni weather. Wind 260 at 10. Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 14. Dew point -19. Altimeter 3030. Sturgis Muni weather. Wind 260 at 10. Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 14. Dew point -19. Altimeter 3030. Sturgis Muni weather.
Okay.
Wind 260 at 10. Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 14. Dew point -19. Altimeter 3030.
FSX pilot, what's happening, buddy? How are you?
Sturgis
Just
Muni
landed.
weather. Wind 260 at 10. Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 14. Dew point -19. Altimeter 3030.
Still watching a replay.
Sturgis Muni weather. Wind 260 at 10. Visibility more than
Yeah.
10. Sky clear.
Although, if
Temperature
you check
14.
later on, the
Dew point
VOD, the
-19.
video on demand, might be worth watching. It's a pretty cool flight with a
3030.
lot of nice scenery and everything. You can fast forward to different segments. So, you know, nothing else to check out later.
Sturgis Muni weather.
So,
Wind 260